Do you remember, not very long ago, I posted a pretty big, interesting interview with Charlie Wallrock, the great antiques dealer, I think you'll agree, with the most incredible pieces of stock. And in the interview I did with him, I clocked this part dinner service, which was owned by Lord Nelson, painted, decorated, and given to him on his 40th birthday party. And Charlie promised me that one day we'd be able to talk about it and he'd show it to me. So come with me on a journey back in time and touch something, feel something, see something, the same things that Lord Nelson and Emma Hamilton saw, handled, and enjoyed. Talk about travelling back in time. This is about the closest we will ever get. Right, finally, I've got you to talk about Nelson's part dinner service.
Wicked bloke, David, you are.
Give me the story, give me the history.
In a nutshell, Battle of the Nile,
Yeah,
exhausted.
yeah,
Nelson sailed down to Lord and Lady Hamilton in Naples
yeah.
for a rest, 6 months rest. He
So
also
that's
obviously went because he rather took a shine to
Yes. Now, do you think the affair was going on at this point?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But I think there was an arrangement.
I think a fair arrangement. That was,
Good pun.
Yes. Yeah.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, she laid on, or Lord and Lady Hamilton laid on a huge birthday service for Nelson. Now, in those days, people travelled with everything they might need for 3 or 4 years. So here we have a beautiful white coal port service,
Yeah.
but with very, very naive painting.
Okay.
Acorns, the English just wouldn't have painted acorns like this. So we have researched this and got to the end game. This is English coal port service they would have had with them.
Just simply plain in the white.
Simply plain.
Yeah.
Big Battle of the Nile, big celebrations, and they put on for Nelson's 40th birthday in 1798 while he was staying with them, this huge party. And they had this all beautifully decorated in its naivety. It's just fabulous.
That's
with
incredible.
The HNs, and just here's a prime example. HN with the naval crown and the anchor.
Yeah.
And this is what remains of that dinner service. It was a huge party, enormous.
So hang on a minute. Painted by whom then? We wouldn't know.
It's some Italian artists in Naples.
Isn't that brilliant? So
But in a rush, because they suddenly put the party on. So that is why the naivety is so charming.
You couldn't make it up, could you?
You couldn't. It's a glorious story. And a lot of the scenes in the top of these plates
Yeah.
are after his artist who travelled with them called Cooper Williams.
Right.
He painted some of the harbours and the scenes as they sailed up the coast.
So it's a funny thing. Nelson was out on campaign fighting in the Napoleonic Wars. And rather than taking a photographer with him, a videographer today, he took an artist.
Yes, always. And they did a lot of the time. And there was a wonderful little book called The Little Sea Torch. That did all the little harbours up one of the Italian coastlines. And that's how they knew what to do. Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, I can't begin to tell you at home how this makes me feel to touch this service.
Well, what's really extraordinary about this was in the National Maritime Museum and sold by the Matcham family, who was Nelson's sister, in 2005. And it was called the Matcham service. And Martin Downer, who's a world-leading expert on Nelson, who's a friend of mine, told me about this. So I bought this, and he and I have done the research and proved beyond doubt that it was actually given to him on his birthday as part of the service. And this is what only remains now, because Naples got ransacked, and of course a lot of it would have stayed and got broken up.
Of course. So Nelson's 40th birthday in 1798, and he died in 1805.
Yeah.
So not very long after. So this very dinner service, for you watching at home, wherever you are in the world, I'm handling now, was there at Lord Nelson's 40th birthday party.
Correct.
Right. Historically, incredibly important, in my opinion, and I think in anyone's opinion. Are you selling it as a complete set?
No, I think it would be... We had 28 pieces. This is what remains. We're selling them because it's obviously a great deal of money, and I think it's rather nicer if people can buy one or two pieces.
Yeah.
More people get to enjoy it.
I think that's a really nice thought, actually.
And that's, we're offering it as in pairs of plates and pairs of dishes.
Yeah. Go on.
Well, they vary in price, between 12 and 14, 18,000 a pair.
Yeah.
And I just go, there is no more that we know of.
No.
The few bits I've sold have all gone to major collections.
Yeah.
And this is what remains.
I mean, they are miniature pieces of art.
Totally.
Pieces of sculpture.
Absolutely.
Things of utter beauty.
But the history is sensational.
Well, again, finally, we're touching the past here.
Indeed you are. Indeed you are.
Thank you, Charlie.
But you have to appreciate the past to understand it. Important point.